Assalamu alaikum. So this is a video to show you how to plot images on Python, specifically Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to quickly just run it. I already prepared an empty file, empty notebook, so plotting images. I also downloaded a picture, an image, and I put it in on the same folder. So if you saw here, I have the image here and my file that I'm gonna use to read the image. Now, for any project, for any homework, whatever it is, it's always recommended to have a folder, a directory where you have your files. For instance, here my notebook, Jupyter Notebook, and the images. So everything on the same file. And this way, you don't have to write the whole path, especially if you're gonna submit it as a homework and you know, like the other person will have to change the path, to make it work. So it's better to just not have that path and just when you work, put the directory, put it in the same directory. It's easier for you as well. Anyways, so why I'm making this video, because it's kind of a confusion for people that are using in computer vision, especially when you are plotting images. And to read images, so if I want to read this image that I have here, I will need the library OpenCV. So I need to use it to read any image. And this function, which is the imRead function that's in the OpenCV, when it reads an RGB, sorry, not RBG, RGB image, which is most like images like this, it reads it as BGR. So it kind of converts the image to BGR as it reads it. So let's try this. So import OpenCV, sorry, it's called CV2. So OpenCV is called CV2. And let's try to read the image. So CV2, some people import it as CV, or you can keep it as CV2. imRead, and then the image name, which is, I can copy it from here. Make sure you copy the correct extension. So in these two lines, I can read any image. Now for plotting it, we can plot it with OpenCV. But if you plot with OpenCV, so it means using a function from this library, it will create a pop-up window. Like it will not show here on the notebook. So it will be a pop-up window and you need to write some commands to fix the situation. So it's multiple lines of code. I'll show you. So the function is cv2.imshow image. But if I run this and I will not, a window will open and it will crash. So we have to do what we call the wait key, and just you have to enter the time where this window is open for in milliseconds, but we can just put 0. And this way it will, if you press a key, and it will close. And then we should also write cv2 dot destroy all windows. So let's try this. So what it's saying is that it's missing one of the positions in the argument imshow, and actually it's the title. So we are supposed to write a title, for example, image. And now a window appeared, and it's so big because I think the size of the image is big, so we need to resize it in the code. And if I want to close this window, I just can press any key on my keyboard. So this is how we plot with OpenCV. It's a kind of a multi-step process. Let's see if we can use Matplotlib. So if you want to plot in the notebook as an output, definitely go ahead with Matplotlib library. And in fact, it has many options and features in comparing to OpenCV. So you can put like images next to each other in the same plot. You can explore more later. And keep in mind, because we want to see the image as RGB, the original colors. We don't want to distort them. And since we know IMRead like converts to BGR, so we have to convert it back to RGB. So we can say image, can keep it. So CV2, and we'll use the function CVT color. It's actually hard to code without the automatic filling like in VS Code. So inside of this, we can put the image, and then we can say cv2.bgr and underscore. It's the same way if you want to convert between to gray image to whatever. We are going to plot with Matplotlib, remember? So we have to import that module, import Matplotlib, and it's called specifically .matplotlib.pyplot. And since the name is so long, we're going to import it as PLT. Now we can plot my image. So plt.imshow, it's the same function as the OpenCV function. And then image, let's see what we get. Okay, so we have to probably make RGB, image RGB. So we need to use a different name for it to work. So this is the image. We can see that we have some here like axes as if it's like a graph. If you want to remove them, you can say plt.axis off. And note that if you are, some actually commands don't work the same way as on Python. So if I use the same code on a Python file, so let's say I have this one and I'm running it. The image will not show. For it to show, if you're working with a Python file, this is just a side note, you have to use the function plot show. So this only creates the plot, and this function here is the one that shows the plot if you're using Python. You can also remove the axis, plt.axis off. Now it's without the axis. So if you're using Python, you have to use plot show, but if you're using Jupyter, you don't need it. And if you do, if you put it, you'll have the same output, more or less, just without that description, purely just the image. You can also add a title, so you can use plt.title, my image, and many things more. You can read about this library. Okay, you have to put it before. Yes. Let's try exporting it as a PDF. So file, export, download as. We'll do it as HTML first, and then you can print it to be in PDF. So let's just see how it looks like. So you have the images, everything. You don't have to copy paste in a Word file and all of that. So everything in one page. I really recommend Matplotlib. And that's it. Thank you for watching.